Hey, you all. Oh, never mind. There's no one in here. Come here, buddy. What are we doing here? How's everyone doing tonight? How's everyone doing this fine Saturday evening? Everyone piling in. How are you doing? Bored. Someone is bored. No reason to be bored. I'm here to entertain you. John Keel says, "What are my thoughts on about Dearly Departed closing?" I'd heard some talk. I really don't know the details. I don't know why they're closed. I don't know what happened. I haven't really spoke to anyone about it. I think it's a great tour, a great museum. Not sure why it shut down. I don't know if they're still going to operate the tours. Am I visiting anywhere? We know tonight we're in the bunker. Who's your boo? Yes. That Indiana Beach. They announced the last couple of days that Indiana Beach was closing after 94 years. That's devastating in and of itself. But they announced out of the blue, it was off season. They announced that it was closed. They didn't. I really wish they would have opened it up at least for a short period of time to kind of do just to let people say goodbye after 94 years. I think a lot of people would like to say goodbye to the park. Really is a bummer. Ryan says, George's video, Scott Michaels says he wants to do other things. Oh, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Scott Michaels, I know he was a consultant on the, what was it? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And, yeah, probably what's going on. This is speculation. I don't know. But Scott Michaels probably got other projects, maybe Hollywood projects, and maybe just doesn't have the time to dedicate to doing the tours anymore. The cat that was on my lap, that's Edgar. Who's your boo? I was planning on visiting this year as well. I was planning on stopping by Indiana Beach. Great old school amusement park. Really, I'm totally bummed that it's closed down. Gaming adventure. Move on. What's my favorite Ripley's I've been to? I did a whole video on that. You should go check out where I rank all my favorite Ripley's. What's my opinion on cargo shorts? I love cargo shorts. I love all the pockets. I love having different places to store all my camera batteries and whatnot. Do I like Niagara Falls? I love Niagara Falls. Love Niagara Falls. Let me fix this camera a little bit. Love Niagara Falls. One of the best tourist meccas in about the United States, but technically it's not in the United States. I think I did go to I went to Indiana Beach when I was a kid. I very, very vague memories of it. Basically, too young to remember. Um, and then, but it was actually I grew up like just a little bit over an hour away from it, so I'm bummed that I didn't go more as a kid. I think sometimes people don't like appreciate what's around them. People like people like to go far away and enjoy things, and sometimes people forget to do the fun stuff that's right there around them. Am I coming to Missouri soon? I actually am. I'm planning on being at Trans World. Trans World Haunted House Trade Show. Dave Harbor Farm. Why do you keep saying CB Dial 0016? You never eat almonds anymore? I still eat almonds. Jerry Robertson says, grew up with Opryland, now it's just a crappy mall. I agree. I've never got to go to Opryland, and I've heard good things. I'm sure that it is depressing, but that's not a crappy mall. That's an awesome mall. The mall a uh, has a Madame Tussauds in it. It's got these little animals, electric animals that you can ride around the mall on, and it's got a rainforest cafe. Someone's asked about the artwork. We have different cryptids up here. What do we got? It's hard for me to see backwards. I think that's is that the yeah, it's the Rougarou. Then Krampus. That's awesome, Dave. Thank you for your support. A Mothman and a Boo Hag. Cause Pain says the tours are going to still happen. The museum's closing down. So they're still going to do Dearly Departed tours. Come to North Jersey and explore the old Fairyland Forest and Gingerbread Castle. Is that like an abandoned type thing? Yeah, Jay Roberts. I've heard the Opryland was awesome. Drunk Irish, thank you for the super chat. Edgar, what are you doing over there? Where am I now? We are in the bunker. In between trips. Where are we? Where are we in Houston? In the official Carpetbagger timeline, we are in Houston, Texas. Come here, Edgar. Dave Harbor, the Carpetbagger doll should already be signed. There's Edgar. Edgar, what are you doing? Hey, no yawning. Need to up your intensity level. Edgar. 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 Come here. Ever thought of Lincoln Highway trip? I thought about it. Edgar, you sleepy little. Look at him. He's nothing but yawn. He spends 95% of his time just yawning. Dave, fans, you got the same gold chair? Yeah, ignore that litter box. That's gross. Oh. The most haunted place I've ever been. I don't know. How do you determine what is the most haunted? Are they building a new roof? Please believe it or not, in Scottsdale, Arizona? I've not heard that. State with the best haircuts? What? What? Why do people say things like that? Come here. Any plans to go to the Mothman Festival? I'd like to go to the Mothman Festival. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. Everything's kind of up in the air right now. Niagara on the Lake is pretty haunted. Niagara on the Lake, I'm not familiar with that. What is Sleepy Hollow like? Sleepy Hollow's cool. If you could bring back to life any famous person, I don't know. Couldn't that cause dangerous things to happen? Isn't that like messing with the butterfly effect? Dave Harbour, why do you keep saying Cheddar Goblin? Do anything exciting today? Not today, no. How old is Edgar? Edgar's only a couple months old. I think we got him in July. Do I know when the Friday Nights at Freddy movie's coming out? No, I didn't even know there was going to be one. I know that they were going to make a Five Nights at Freddy movie, and they lost the rights, so they switched it to a Banana Splits movie, and it's really confusing because the Banana Splits are real, and they just called it the Banana Splits movie. Dave Harbour, you're talking like you're a robot. Did I meet Zach Baggins? No. Best cartoon in the 80s or 90s. I was really into Ninja Turtles when I was a kid. Is Dairy Queen open? I don't know if it's open for tonight. I don't even know what time it is, really. Even though it says the time right on the screen. 9:24. Will and Bear. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about Will and Dawn. They lost their dog. Yes, David Durant. We were talking about Indiana Beach a little earlier. It's a bummer. And I'll tell you guys something. It's actually got me thinking. With Indiana Beach closing down, I really want to make sure that I document some of these smaller amusement parks before things like this happen. So this summer, I really wanted to put a focus on old school amusement parks. I'll try to hit as many of these old independent amusement parks as I travel around the country. There's quite a bit. Like, there's more than you'd think. So I'm gonna try to focus on documenting these amusement parks. I've got kind of a general path. There's a lot in the Northeast, a lot in Pennsylvania, a lot in New York that I want to try to hit this summer. And I did hear, be careful how I can't, none of this is confirmed. This is pure speculation, and I'm not going to give a whole lot of information, but I've heard a rumor that the person that's purchasing Ghost Town in the Sky may actually be a serious investor with a lot of money behind them. And it might actually turn into something really cool. I've done Carowinds, Lemon Kid. Done Carowinds. We did Cedar Point, did Kings Island on this channel. But I'm going to be looking for old school theme parks, especially those with a focus on old school dark rides. Action Park. What do they call it? Traction Park. It's not even, I don't think it's even called, it's not called Action Park yet, and they got rid of all the danger stuff. Elvis Austin's Kennywood was one of my best videos. Well, thank you. Kennywood is one of my favorite amusement parks. Oh, that's so good. It's so good. Kennywood is such a good park. Kennywood has 3 dark rides. Like, that may not seem like a lot, but dark rides are getting so rare these days. Kennywood has 3 distinct dark rides. Well, technically 2 dark rides and a fun house, but they have the Garfield tunnel, which I know some people don't like the Garfield theme. The Garfield theme is kind of but the building and ride function itself is so awesome. It's a wooden building. You're in a wooden boat. You're not on a track. You're literally being pushed through by water. And they got a haunted house, which is cool. I think their haunted house has guns. And the Noah's Ark, which is just bonkers. I definitely would encourage you to check out my video on the Noah's Ark at Kennywood. Mike Fink Knobles is still really fun. They have 1 dark ride and 1 dark ride roller coaster hybrid. Enchanted Forest in Oregon is definitely somewhere I need to check out. Here's the thing, guys. Like the abandoned stuff. I mean, abandoned stuff is cool, but it is like, it's hard to get access to an abandoned park. They don't want a lot. Some of them don't want people in there. Isn't it more fun to go to parks that aren't abandoned? They still have Guinness Book of World Records Museum. Yeah, they have. think they have 4 Guinness records. Guinness World Records. There's Gatlinburg, Hollywood, and Niagara Falls, and San Antonio have Guinness World Records museums. How many shrunken heads have I seen? More than I could even remember. Somak, I actually used to do geocaching before I had the channel. Geocaching is fun. I just don't think I have time. Am I into the SCP fandom? I do not know what SCP stands for. I'm sorry. I could be geocaching right now. I could be doing a lot of things right now. I could be riding a horse. I could be eating a cherry pie. I could be sticking a friggin' needle in my ear. I mean, there's always things you could be doing. But it's all about what you choose to be doing. There is a fish tank in the background. I'm going to do any St. Patrick's Day. Maybe. We'll see. What did I have for dinner? I had some sushi for dinner. I love sushi. I'm going to ask about taking the channel abroad. I don't know. There's so much still to see in America. I had fresh sushi. Yeah, the conveyor belt sushi. Ever gone to Aberdeen and done a Kurt Cobain thing? No. I don't do a lot of videos on dead rock stars. Sushi, lots of worms. What the hell? Why would you say that? Are people really that ignorant and uneducated that like they don't understand how sushi works? Soundman626 says, haven't seen you or other vloggers that do meetups. Specific reason why meetups have slowed down. I can only speak for myself. For me, personally, it's just meetups are really hard to organize. Last meetup I did was the Mothman meetup. And, that was, they were very generous to provide me at the table, provide me with a spot to meet people. But like to set up a meetup from the ground up, it takes a lot of work. I mean, and especially like I don't know, you don't know how many people are going to show up. I could say, oh, I'm going to be at this location at this time, and no one shows up, or maybe too many people show up, and people get mad because there's too many people randomly showing up. I just don't know. I'm not against doing meetups. It's just a lot of work, and I do a lot of traveling. I do a lot of editing, a lot of filming. It's just another thing. There's only so many hours. Only so many hours in the day. Heard Ripley's is opening an '80s museum. I have not heard that. Mr. Geek Me Out says, any crazy stalker recently? Let me just say, I think it's pretty safe to say the '80s museum opened in Gatlinburg. What? Are you sure? People are saying the '80s museum. Well, heck, maybe I need to go there tomorrow. Is it really an '80s museum? I thought it was going to be more like a laser tag type place. Laser tag arcade and retail, but like from the '80s. Okay. I feel like I was talking about something before we got sidetracked with the '80s museum. People keep bursting in here and saying Indiana Beach is closed down. Oh, stalkers. Okay, yeah. Anyone with a YouTube channel has any sort of traction, there's gonna be weirdos. There's gonna be deranged people that are gonna be bothering them. If you don't want deranged people bothering you, do not start a YouTube channel. You can talk to, any YouTuber, that is at any sort of, maybe if you're a smaller YouTuber, like really small, it won't bother you. But eventually, if you're going to get any sort of traction, you're going to get your family harassed. You're going to be harassed. You're going to have your private information violated. It's just what's going to happen. Big Dog Thor says Indiana Beach is being bought by investors that are planning on updating it and reopening it. I don't know where you're getting that information from. Does anyone send me things? No, I had to close down my my P.O. box because of problems. Chris about teachers says sometimes the YouTubers are the weirdos. Oh yeah, you got to be a little bit off to want to film yourself. Roxy Foxy, a DJ show. Yeah, using stage names and stuff like that might help a little bit. But in the long run, if someone wants to figure out who you are, they're going to find you. There's no way. Yeah, I'm not going to go back. I can't. I do not have time, down on Planner, to go back through every old video and delete the address of. Yeah, I think most people close down P.O. boxes because it's just an opening for dangerous people. And, you can probably, the other question we got, people asking about less vloggers doing meetups, probably like that is dangerous and deranged people. I mean, probably fear of being targeted. Is there Ripley's in Hollywood? Yes, there is. Okay, Hoosier Boo says, there are rumors published by local media today that there has been a potential buyer come in contact with the town of Monticello. I mean, let's cross our fingers, hope it's true. I heard a rumor that, like, that they already had, like, the rides up for sale. But let's hope someone swoops in and buys it and reopens it. I mean, if someone had the money and bought it, they could open it up this season. It's a functional amusement park. Ryan, I used to do Periscope. Dennis R., we don't talk about politics in here. Which fairy tale park is my favorite? Oh man, there's so many good fairy tale parks. I know the one in New Jersey is really, really good. That's like just the one that just popped into my mind. Storyland, New Hampshire is amazing. Some good. So there's still some good. You go to these amusement parks and you're like, people still love this stuff. I mean, there's, don't believe that people don't love amusement parks, because people do. How many cars have I owned in my life? I don't know. My Weird New Jersey supporter? Yes, I love Weird USA. Turd Ferguson. Thanks for the super chat. Says, thanks for all the videos. Helps with vacationing. Well, you're welcome, Turd. Genland, yeah, it'd be nice if Magic World was still open. I never had a chance to see it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand, like, amusement parks, there is it's a lot of money. There's a lot of money to keep amusement parks open. That's why most amusement parks close down in the winter, because they need to have heavy attendance to, have all the employees, have all the rides maintained. No, I did not make my own animation. That's done by Creaties. For getting into drones, what do I recommend? I have a Mavic DJI Air. DJI Mavic Air, which is it's a good drone, portable. It doesn't seem to. I've had problems with it not having a very good range. The drone I had before, which I think is just a regular DJI Mavic, I think, had a longer range to it. And of course, the Phantoms are really fun too, because they're like tanks in the air. But they're really they're harder to transport because they're so solid. Yeah, what did I put out today? The Funeral History Museum. I really got a lot of cool feedback. That got a lot of traction on that video. What kind of camera I use? I generally use a Canon G7X. Xander, do. I'm planning on being at Transworld convention. Yeah, Ryan. Well, Disney. I think Disney was built intentionally to be in warm weather so they could operate year round. Wish all theme parks operated year round. Majority of theme parks are only open um, pretty much in the summer. That Memorial Day to Labor Day window is when most of them are open. Edgar, wake up. Hey, Jeff Cannon, thank you for this. Glad to see you in the bunker. You're taking some chill time in the bunker. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You rascal. Edgar, you rascal. You can listen to him purr. Oh, where are you going? Have I gone to the Titanic Museum? No, they don't allow filming there, so I've not gone. How do I feel about the Beast at Kings Island getting a virtual reality headset? I'm just curious on what the virtual reality headset would show. Possibly people beating you with sticks, because that's what the ride feels like. What type of kitty litter do we use? We use Kitty Diggins. I have been to the Bigfoot Museum in Cherry Log, Georgia. It's a very cool place. Actually went there when they first opened up, and I went back again. I think people saving up for Disney Universal hurts the smaller parks. I don't know. I personally see it as a different experience. I think with the smaller parks, I think that it's viewed differently. I think with the smaller parks, it's more likely people go during the weekend or on a summer day. And I think with the smaller parks, it's usually people in the local area. The Disney World and Universal, I think, are generally people coming from out of state. So I think they both serve a purpose. I think a lot of people maybe, go to casually go to a local park, but then, may go spend a week in Florida. Is there still a Mac? Let me see. Mac Tonight animatronic at Orlando, Florida McDonald's. Is that still there? Roxy Fox and Dr. J Show says Disney for most people is a once and done type of place. Yeah, I think a lot of people, go to Disney once, make one big Disney trip in their life or something like that. Yeah, people live in Orlando or people live in Central Florida have a embarrassment of riches when it comes to amusement parks. Have I ever been approached by any TV networks to do a show? I've interviewed for a few shows. I've never been. None of the shows I've ever been interviewed with were ever actually made, though. That's Hollywood is such a long and annoying process. I'm really like, I got really, I used to get excited about that. I don't really care. I don't really care. I'm happy here on YouTube. Why do I need a show? What do I need to take orders from someone else? The Lauren, Orlando, Florida McDonald's. Okay. Next time in Orlando, I'll stop by to try to see Mac tonight. YouTube is a better platform, Roxy Foxy. It gives you more freedom. I don't think I'm educational enough for PBS. I have been to the Zach Bagans Museum, and I think it's one of the top attractions in the country, honestly. Which I didn't want to give it that. I didn't want to give it that. Like, I didn't want to like it because they wouldn't allow they won't allow photos or video. But once you get in there, it's such a good attraction. Mr. Dolomite says, "Do you think a dark ride like Devil's Den, old school gravity ride, is better than a new smooth dark rides?" It's different. Yeah, I mean the gravity propelled dark rides are a really interesting experience. But then again, it's all about different experiences. It's like you could go to a fancy restaurant and have a really fancy meal and really enjoy yourself and want to do that again. But then you could go to like some hole in the wall burger place and have like the best meal of your life with a burger. Now they're all very different experiences, but you enjoyed them both. So I think you can enjoy like a really high tech dark ride at Disney and also enjoy an old school, spook house at a carnival. It's just a different experience. Flash Hughes says natural history museums are so much fun. I do love, it's an old school natural history museum. Do you know what video you're going to do tomorrow? Tomorrow will be an off day, and then we will continue traveling through Texas. Do my iconic scared to death scream. I can only do it when I'm scared to death. Oh. Bethany, I don't know. I'm not ready to travel. Not ready to travel internationally. Ryan Odall, yes, I've heard of OWA. I talked with Drew about that dark ride there. Terry Beckelheimer says, "How about you doing with your diabetes?" Well, let me just say, I don't talk about that anymore on this channel because I've learned the harsh lesson that you can't really share personal information about yourself. People just take it too far. I thought that was something that I could incorporate into the channel, talking about, my struggles or, my life. But, people, people just take it too far. Joe Jung says, "Bye forever." Bye forever. Please don't come back. How's my wrestling career? My manager is busy getting married, and it's putting a serious cramp in my style. Sometimes I think that he's more concerned with his fiance than he is with me, and it's really upsetting. Discovery Park of America in Obion County, Kentucky. I've not heard of that. Thank you, Red Engine 16. Mr. Geeky says, ready for WrestleCon. I got my tickets for WrestleCon. I'm worried about how much I'm going to be able to film or not film. I don't know, Ryan. If you've ever seen a wrestling wedding before, they usually don't go too smoothly. Any new taxidermy for the Cabin of Fun? No, I've not had time to work on my Cabinet of Curiosity, unfortunately. Try the Haunted Hotel attraction in Louisville, Kentucky. Thank you for the Super Chat, Furious Reactor. I've not heard of the Haunted Hotel attraction in Louisville. All right, guys, we've been on here about 45 minutes. I think we're going to wrap this one up for tonight. If you hadn't seen, tonight we released the Funeral History Museum video today. I think you guys will enjoy that if you haven't already seen it. And, you know, go back and watch some of my old videos. Some of them are pretty good. But appreciate you guys joining me. Hashtag Team Balto. This one.